Sup dickheads, Goblin's back, etc, etc. Hungary, very fucking late. Let's just get into the quali lap. Yeah, so this quali session had rained at the start and then dried out, so the tyres are probably going to start tumbling, as you will see. Crossing the line with 5 seconds to go. So the aim was to be the last man over the line, which I was, and immediately we are a second up on our previous time. Make that a second and a half, and that's going to become like 5 seconds through this corner. Yeah, so basically going on the softs, I think my plan was to do soft medium in this race. As you will see, that did not turn out to be the case. So yeah, through turn 4, turn 5, was feeling actually like quite a good lap considering I was on the harder tyres of the 2 qualifying tyres. Into the chicane, actually quite nice through the chicane. This lap ended up being quite slow, so I want to try and find out where the bottle actually was. Could maybe there was probably about half a second loss, maybe. I don't really know, don't really care. Again, could have maybe been quicker through there. It's probably the last sector where I lose a bit of time. Already a second off Callum Smith's pole time. And we're now 10 seconds quicker than our previous quali time. And through the penultimate corner, a bit of oversteer, going to short shift into 5th gear, down into 3rd for the last corner. Probably not really one place, I lost a load of time, just all over the place, losing a few tenths here and there. So we ended up 1.2 off pole on the soft tyres, which was pretty shit, won't lie. Started 5th, oh fuck, was it? No, not 5th, 8th, don't know why I said 5th. But yeah, starting 8th here. And let's just hope turn 1 is a bit cleaner than it was last season, because last season did not go too well at all. And holding brief, 8th place, just watching all the carnage unfold ahead, and the carnage does not unfold ahead, which is fantastic. You'll notice you can't see Sam ahead because I think he crashed in qualifying when he was going out in the wet conditions, which was a bit stupid of him. And Jamie also crashed in the wet. So both Red Bulls were starting right at the back. I'm in 8th place. Luke got a massive run on me, but is going to break part of his front wing there because I braked too early. So sorry about that, Luke. And still in 8th place. Looking ahead, thinking people I can realistically pick off this race. Brandon, maybe JB, Hoggy definitely. Maybe Callum Smith, but he was on pole, so clearly he had decent pace. And then obviously Sam coming through from behind. So Hoggy is going to get a very poor run through the middle sector, and I'm going to line him up very nicely. This one's going to look very familiar to all my Season 2 viewers. Boom, down the inside, Hoggy. Done it to you once, going to do it again, but this time he's going to hang it around the outside. He's going to make it just about keep the position. You're going to touch tyres. My car's going to spin a little bit, and it's going to give him just enough momentum to keep the position, as Simon is now all over us. He's trying to go around the outside of the final corner. I know he's there, so I'm going to leave him the space, and now we are in a drag race down to turn 1. I don't know if he backs out of that for a bit of slipstream or not, but looks like we're going to keep that one as we go deep into turn 1. Quality stuff here. And Simon's going to try again into turn 2. I'm going to leave him initially a bit of space if he wants to try, but he doesn't try it, so I turn in. And yeah, that's basically that. Hoggy's going to have a massive moment in front, and Luke is going to have a moment behind, as Simon is going slow. So Luke might get around Simon, probably not, as Hoggy goes wide. Don't know what the fuck he's doing. Can this kid keep his car on the road? No. And we're going to head into the chicane now, try a half-assed move, isn't going to work. So, yep, that's that. Hoggy gets on the grass, gets all out of shape, and boom, take that position. Run very wide through turns 8 and 9, which is brilliant. And end of lap 2, Simon is all over us still as we get quite close to the wall on the pit lane. So Simon this time not quite going to have DRS, I don't think, and he's still going to chuck it up our inside. I'm going to see it coming. He's going to slide wide. I'm going to take a slightly wider line, cut back inside to get a better exit, and he's still just about there, lagging a tiny bit, but my car's pulled well ahead as I slide horribly wide, but he still can't take advantage of that, so that's us up into 7th. And as you can see on the mini-map, the leaders are fucking checked out. Here we go. starting lap 6, and Brandon, very early stop from Super Softs, so we're going to take that position from him up into 6th, which is very nice. And now we're going to cut on to the end of lap 6. Sam has finally caught us. He's got through the pack quite quickly and on the soft tyres, so he will be running the same strategy as myself, or at least starting on the same tyres as myself. He's going to go down into turn 1. We're both going to brake quite deep into the corner. I'm going to hang it all the way around the outside, and he's still there. I know he's still there. He's slightly ahead of me actually, but I'm going to run him well, actually not that deep. He's going to drop back, and then he's just going to use so much extra traction and go around my outside, so fair play. There's a lot of grip to be had on the outside there, and he has used it to perfection to get that move done. And now we're into 3rd place with Sinan, the only one yet to stop. So Sinan, Sam, myself, and Jamie, who was also at the back of the grid with his teammate, and he's going to go up the inside. We're going to make slight contact there, hand of rage up, and we're still going to go side by side towards turn 2. And will Thief get mugged off again around the outside by a Red Bull? Yes, he will. Boom! Job done for Jamie as he Ken blocks his way through turn 3. Lovely. And actually pits on the end of this lap and goes very wide for the pit lane entry. Get out. So that's me up into 3rd. Not quite going to be 2nd as Sinan heads out of the pits on medium tyres. So he's going to do that. I'm going to get on the marbles and have DRS, but he's just going to pull away. So fair play to him. On lap 11 now, front left, sorry, 71%. Watch out for that. As Eric is overtaking us. At this point, we were kind of similarly placed in the championship, so I was trying to fight that one. He gets quite aggressive into turn 1, but fair play, blocks me off very nicely. Doesn't allow me to get any sort of switchback. As on the marbles, boom, very wide, got Brandon behind us, and my car obviously refuses to be overtaken properly by Brandon, so the tyre just punctures, which means he can't get a legitimate move on me, which is fantastic. So now we're going to have the whole field flooding around. Puncture in the last corner, which is all you want in Hungary, and so all the way down to a 12th place. Going to try and cut the corner to let some people through, and the car does a lovely little pirouette on the grass. So thank you for that, and eventually we're going to trundle this car back to the pit lane, and yeah, not a very good race. At this point, it's safe to say any hope of points were out of the window. But I was gonna carry on anyway, you know, just in case, because you never know what might happen. People could crash, people could die. But unfortunately, as we enter the pits and I adjust the camera onto lap 34, I only made it up to 12, as obviously a few people DNF'd or disconnected or whatever, I don't remember. And we've lost the car in dramatic fashion, similarly as we did in season 4, and we have just crashed out horribly there. So that's such a shame for myself. On for a great P12 finish, lap down, and my car inexplicably just decides to steer to the left, so bit of a shame. Yeah, but never mind. Gonna try and blitz through these videos now, so I will see you hopefully soon for Germany, which was even better than this one. Yay!